Hello there, my dear branch students. This is your teacher, Shagufta Faisal. As you know, we are talking about the democracy and the human rights. So, there is a big name of humanitarian history, Dr. Martin Luther King. Let's talk about his history. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was an American preacher, humanitarian, and activist who is best known for his role in the African American civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s. He was inspired by his faith and the peaceful teaching of Mahatma Gandhi and is considered one of the history's greatest champions of nonviolence. He used the power of his words as well as peaceful demonstration such as protest, sit-ins, and boycott in an effort to achieve equality for all people. Dr. Martin Luther is a true American hero. Let's talk about his life and how he inspired a nation. His fight was against race, class, or gender. Martin Luther King was born on Tuesday, January 15, in Atlanta, Georgia. His name was Michael King. His father, also named Michael, changed both their name to Martin Luther in honor of the world-renowned German reform of the same name. Was a middle child. He had an older sister named Willie and a younger brother named Alfred. He attended Booker T. Washington High School and was so smart he skipped both the 9th and 12th grades. He enrolled in Morehouse College at age 15. During his final semester at Morehouse, he was ordained as a minister. He also took his first steps towards being an activist by writing a letter to the editor of the Atlanta Constitution. In the letter, he declared that African Americans were entitled to the basic rights and opportunities of American citizens. After graduating from Morehouse, Martin attended Crozer Theological Seminary in Pennsylvania. Martin then began his doctoral studies at Boston University. During this time, he began to draw from his education, his faith, and his natural verbal ability to form the foundation for what would become his critical role in the civil rights movement. तुमने डाउनलोड नहीं किया? इसके पैड करो. While in Boston, he met a student from the New England Conservatory. They were married in Alabama and lived in Martin. Became parent of 4 children. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give her seat to a white person on a crowded bus. In Montgomery, Alabama, a city known for its segregated public spaces, that night Martin met with other activists to plan a citywide protest that would become known as the Montgomery Bus Boycott. The boycott lasted over 380 days. During this time, Martin was arrested and harassed. He bring about the boycott, however, was a success. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that racial and transportation was unconstitutional. Martin's role in the boycott transformed him into a national figure and the best spokesman of the civil rights. The boycott victory civil rights had need for national organization to better coordinate their efforts. In January 1957, Martin and roughly 60 other ministers and activists founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference for the SCLC with Martin as the president. It helps to boost the protest. He promotes civil rights reforms, a primary focus for the organization. and the African American vote him to sponsor mass meeting and key. For that purpose, in 1963, Martin led a coalition of several civil rights groups, which was at that time described as the most segregated city in America. The nation was shocked to see the images of police attack by dogs and displayed on television, newspaper, and magazines. It was during this campaign that Martin wrote his now famous letter from Birmingham jail after being arrested again. इसको काटना पड़ेगा बेटे, बहुत ज़्यादा जा रहा है. ऐड है ये. चलिए आती है फेडरल लॉ के पे है. कहाँ पे नोबेल पीस प्राइज? अभी तुम सात पे नहीं हो, 6 पे. आऊँ 7 पे. ये मिले आजा. और 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 African Americans were now against the federal law. This was the greatest accomplishment for the civil rights movement in March of 1965. Martin led a march from Selma to the Capitol, Alabama, to urge President Lyndon and his administration to pass a law protecting the rights of African Americans voters. At the conclusion of the march, Martin gave another powerful speech that helped rally more supporters that same year. Congress went to pass All the Rights Act to eliminate the remaining barriers to voting for African Americans. Next 3 years, Martin spoke and shifted from racial discrimination to economic injustice and international peace. He led campaign in Chicago, spoke strongly against the Vietnam War. Martin's opposition to the war cost him support among white allies, including the president, union leaders, and publishers. He also organized the Poor People's Campaign in 1968, an effort to assemble a matricial coalition of poor Americans who would advocate for economic change on April. Martin was shot while standing on the balcony outside of his hotel room. Martin was pronounced dead at Joseph Hospital. He was 39 years. Martin was buried in the hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. Martin Luther King changed the course of American history. He worked tirelessly to ensure that all people, regardless of race, religion, or national origin, had equal opportunities and could live their lives without fear of violence and discrimination. Martin is regarded as America's greatest human rights advocate. In 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill creating a federal holiday honoring Martin. The holiday observed on the third Monday of January each year is called Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It was officially observed by all 50 states for the first time.